For now, the gas pipeline deal between Russia and China has failed. For quite some time, we had been hearing about the talks regarding a major gas pipeline deal between these two countries. Negotiations were ongoing and Russia was putting a lot of effort into finalizing the deal. However, due to some disagreements, this deal has not been concluded as of now. It is being said that China made some unreasonable demands that were unfair to Russia. From Russia's point of view, these demands were very tough, which caused the deal to stall. What was this deal? What benefits would Russia get from it? What was in it for China? What were China's tough demands that prevented the deal from moving forward? Let us understand all of this in simple language. First of all, under this deal, a 2,600-kilometer long pipeline is to be built from Russia to China. This has been named the Power of Siberia 2 pipeline. It has Siberia in its name because this pipeline will supply gas from western Siberia to northeastern China. Here it will be connected to China's existing pipelines, through which Russian gas will reach other regions of China as well. So if this pipeline gets built, Russia will gain a very good market for its gas. Along with Russia, China will also benefit greatly from this pipeline deal. China's energy demand is increasing rapidly. In such a situation, having a dependable source of energy will make it easier for China to fulfill its future energy needs. In today's unpredictable scenario, the vulnerability of maritime trade routes is increasing. In case of any conflict, there could be a blockade on maritime trade routes, disrupting energy trade. You must have seen how trade in the Red Sea region has been disrupted due to attacks by Iran-backed Houthi rebels during the Israel-Hamas war. Due to fear of attacks, many ships are taking the longer route around the Cape of Good Hope. As a result, travel time is increasing and costs are shooting up, which is bad for the economy. In such a situation, having a secure supply available through a pipeline is great. This will diversify the energy supply, reduce risks, and result in cost savings. Transporting gas through a pipeline will be much cheaper than maritime transport. Additionally, a constant and reliable flow of energy can be obtained from the pipeline. This method avoids problems faced during transportation by ships, such as extra travel time, loading-unloading issues, delays, security threats, and weather issues. While maritime trade has its own importance and should continue, the advantages of pipelines should be utilized wherever possible. Strategically, a combination of both transport methods can be employed depending on economic and geopolitical factors. There are many benefits to this approach. Currently, China is very much dependent on the Malacca Strait for its energy trade. If there is any conflict in this region and this strait gets blocked, there could be an energy crisis in China. This is known as China's Malacca Dilemma. To reduce its dependence on the Malacca Strait, China wants to build the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor with Pakistan. However, there are many challenges in executing CPEC, leading to numerous delays. In such a situation, if a pipeline comes from Russia, it will be beneficial for both Russia as well as China. But then why did China make demands that stalled the deal? This is because China wants to take full advantage of this opportunity. China wants a deal, but on its own terms. We know that China is currently in a stronger position compared to Russia. Clearly, Russia is the junior partner in the China-Russia relationship at present. Due to the Ukraine war, Russia's dependence on China has increased considerably. China knows it has the upper hand and will definitely exploit this situation to its benefit. Heavy sanctions were imposed on Russia after it invaded Ukraine. To punish Russia, Western countries began isolating it. Before the war, Russia exported large amounts of energy to European countries. Russia has a pipeline infrastructure that has been fulfilling Europe's energy needs all this while. However, after the war, as anti-Russia sentiment grew, Russian energy exports to Europe gradually began to decline. European countries started finding alternatives to Russian energy and reducing their purchases from Russia, causing the Russian economy to incur losses. For perspective, Last year, Russia's state-owned company Gazprom suffered a loss of around $7 billion. As Europe diversifies its energy sources, Russia's energy sales in Europe are dropping, and the European market is moving away from Russia. Therefore, as Europe's reliance on Russian energy decreases, Russia is now looking for alternative markets. In this situation, Russia is turning towards the two big energy consumers of Asia, China and India. Since this video is about the deal between China and Russia, we'll focus on this for now. We'll talk about India some other time. As we discussed, Russia desperately needs alternatives for its energy exports. To save its economy and fund the war, it will have to find new markets for energy exports. China knows this and wants to take advantage of the situation. Russia has limited options for selling energy, while China has many alternatives for buying energy, such as the Middle East and Central Asia. So China is in no hurry. It is taking its time and negotiating with Russia, trying to secure the best deal for itself. It is demanding Russian gas at heavily subsidized prices. China is pushing Russia to sell gas at cheap prices, while Russia wants slightly better prices from China and also wants China to buy its gas in larger quantities. Russia is saying, buy more gas and give a good price. China is saying, I will take less gas and pay a lower price. This deal collapsed due to China's tough stance. This tells us that even though countries call each other strategic allies, close friends, and claim to have a no-limits partnership in public, they still engage in hard negotiations behind closed doors. No country wants to miss any opportunity to secure its national interests. That's how geopolitics works. So let us see how Russia navigates this pricing dispute and what impact it will have on the Russia-China no-limits partnership.